Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Holy crap, where is it? There it is. But, I don't have BGM. Whoopsie, where is the BGM? There it is. There it is. Let me tone that down a bit. Oh, I didn't even switch to the right, scene. Nice going. There we go. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, where are you? Where's my chat? There's my chat. Hello, Doogie. Hello, Ryusei. Hello, Leia. Hello, Whiplash. Hello, everybody, and thank you, Leia, for the resub. Thank you. I hope everything's okay. Coming up from medical leave. I hope everything's alright. Hello, hello, Koneko. Hello. You're expecting me to be edited into the main screen? Not quite. This wasn't a last minute kind of deal. It was a I decided to do this randomly on Saturday. And when I decided to do that, it was intended to be a little joke thing. But then my little joke thing got a little heavier, and I wrote some blobs of text down that I wanted to read. And I thought, how can I get this out there? Right? How can I get this passionate little thingy I put together out there? And I think I've realized, you know what? Let me. I messed up. I messed up because I didn't put this window over here. This window over here. Bring that back up. And there we go. Labuga. Hello, Lucius. Don't worry, it's fine. I'm glad you're here. I did announce the other day that my YouTube is going up, and I said, I thought to myself, this is gonna be my first VOD I put up, but I think it's best if I put up the first of 13 Sentinels too, because I would hate to put up a channel, and not have it so that the first part of an RPG playthrough is not on the YouTube. that would be a big mistake. I'm just getting better at my thumbnails, and you're gonna see today my image editing skills. You're gonna see today. Yeah. About time. There we go. It is an actual PowerPoint, by the way. This is an Intro to Blue Archive by Keitaro Sensei. And you guys might vaguely know what this is. I've posted about it on Twitter. I posted about it on my Discord. I post about it just about everywhere, really. There's it everywhere I am. This is. I take this everywhere I go. It is my personality. And I put a lot of work into this, and by a lot, I mean like an afternoon's worth. And even now, I wanted to go into this and thinking, like, yeah, I gotta start the stream. I was watching other streams thinking, yeah, I really want to do this, but I gotta put other stuff in. I gotta talk. I gotta show more. I gotta do more. And I didn't have time. I didn't want to push this off because I have a pitch at the end, and the pitch is well timed with what may be one of the bigger events in the game. So I decided to put it upon myself. I have somewhat of an audience. There's maybe like at least 2 people here. So I think that's enough to push what might be one of my passions. Which sounds really lame for a gacha game, but you know what? People put work into these. It's time. It's about time that someone appreciates it, and that person is gonna be me. At least 2. Yes, at least 2. I know there's at least 2 people here minimum. And I'm not sure how many more we're gonna get. There could be 1,000 people in here in the next minute. There could be 1,000 people watching this VOD for all I know. 10,000. 1,000,000 people. And I gotta make sure I put the best effort into it. So, 1,000 new senseis? Perfect. 1,000 new senseis for recruiting. As someone you can't show this to already play it, game good. Exactly. I was gonna say, in a more thought out tweet, before I haphazardly put the other one together, my goal is to get at least one more person playing. If I can get one more person to install the game, to play the game, to post about their free rolls and stuff into my Discord, then mission accomplished, right? So, without further ado, let's begin the intro to Blue Archive. What is Blue Archive? That's Blue Archive. If that video didn't capture you, I don't know what will. That's one start. That's one start. Hello everybody, and thank you Chicken Coop and Joy for the follow, and thank you Crazy Kitty 357 for the follow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yes, that is the Momoy emote that you guys see in my in my emotes. One of many. Go to work now. Alright, take care. Have a good day, Lucius. Don't worry, check back on the VOD. Already considered playing. There we go, Crazy Kitty. There we go. Boom! What is Blue Archive? So, yes, Blue Archive is a gacha game. Gacha games include things like Fate Grand Order, Arknights, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Pokemon Master DX, anything where you roll to obtain a character. This category of game popularized back in, I don't know, it definitely took hold in the mid to early 2010s, and with running from there. This is a quick little summary. I'm going to go into detail of every point as we go on. However, it's a team building semi-auto battling game. What does that word salad mean? The word salad means that Blue Archive is a game where you put together your students. You are a teacher in this giant city called Kimotos, and Kimotos is home to many schools. In each of those schools is a group of students, and they all look up to the General Student Council, of which you are a teacher of. So that means you have some of the higher power, meaning you are brought on to command, order, and lecture your students. That's where the auto battling part comes in. So they all have their attacks, they all have skills and passes. However, they have one active skill, and that's what you command. Your commanding is putting the team together and using the skills as they go. And the cast is huge. The cast is huge. To this day, I believe there's about 180 students? Probably more, because I don't have all of them. I can't check either, because the game's in maintenance for the biggest event ever. It has an enthralling story. I know a lot of people use this for gacha games to win people over, besides, why should I play? They're gonna throw a character at you. They're gonna throw, oh, it's so fun, bro. The gameplay is real. It's not like other gacha games. But I think Blue Archive's story is very underrated. It's very underrated, and it doesn't get enough respect and love because it has, how do I put this? Arknights and Fate Grand Order are two that are brought up for their story. And their stories are very serious, I think get very dark. And even things like Girls Frontline have tragic parts to their story. However, Blue Archive, I feel, though it gets serious, has dark moments, and honestly, it could have parts where, like, wow, this sucks for the characters. It always rounds out in a hopeful way. It inspires hope. It has a general lightheartedness, even if it's in its darkest moments, and it's very gripping. BA chapter don't miss. Yeah, BA is the only chapter gacha game I play where chapter 1 doesn't suck. That is a huge claim, and I kind of agree. Though, most wouldn't. I think Chapter 1's a very, very good sell to the game. Banging music, as you can hear playing as my BGM right now. The music in Blue Archive is put together by 3 main composers. Originally just one, but he brought on they brought along 2 more with him, and they do phenomenal work. And the community's really good. I think this is the only fandom where I could say for the most part I've enjoyed everybody I met in it. I have a lot of friends, and I have a lot of met new people because of it, and everybody that does work for the game, not work, content creation for the game, is a very, very nice person, very loving person, and they put a lot of work into what they do and into the game itself. Blue Archive story is great because it's only 2 minutes and to understand its welcome. That's another thing. The longest Blue Archive stories, I think, were maybe 15 minutes at most, and even then, that's nothing compared to some of the other games I played where their stories are much, much longer. It's definitely something you can go through and sit down and read a story, be satisfied, and go, right? And I didn't preface this with this part, but I want you guys to know that if you ever have a question, if you ever have something you want to point out, feel free. I'm reading the chat. I'm looking at the chat, I'm reading it, I'm taking into consideration everything that's going on here, and I'm learning a lot from you guys, and I hope to teach you guys more that may not be on this slide. There's a lot of things I could say about this game, and I couldn't unfortunately put it all in this 20-slide presentation. I could have done it, but I want this to be brief. I don't want this to be something that you guys look at and think, oh, wow, that is a lot. You kind of explained the whole thing for me. I'm not going to play this. I want this to be something you look at and realize, yes, I kind of got a glimpse of it, and I want to know more, right? A lot of guys don't find their agreements related. The feels like it had it right from the start. Yes, I think that's really true. It did have a rough launch in JP because... not because of, the story or because of the... too much of the gameplay, but it was not very, they didn't know what to do completely yet with, monetization and, how to handle their gacha. The original Spark in Blue Archive was 300, not 200, which means you have to roll 300 times. For those of you who don't know what a Spark is, in a gacha game, there's rates to get the characters you want. If you get to a point where you're rolling, and you don't get the character, you don't get the character on rate up, you get to pick it, or another character that's sharing the rate up. Right now in Blue Archive, you do 200 rolls, which is 24 pyros, which is the gym equivalent in the game. Before, you had to do 300, which was 360, a lot more. But they've since fixed that. And I'm glad, because by the time it launched in EN, they had everything in order, and all the quality of life changes they did in the first 4 months of JP made it to EN. And I think that was very good to get its feet running, right? They did a lot of promotion, they were piggybacking with YoStar to get to where they are today, and I think what we see in the EN community is probably the best we could have gotten. And better, actually, but I'll get to that later. So now, let's get into the nitty-gritty details. Let's talk a little more about what each of those little points in the last slide. Let's address them in more detail. I think the number one thing I want to ask is, when you look at Blue Archive, you look at any gacha game, but more specifically when you look at Blue Archive, what do you think its main appeal is? When people play a gacha game, it's a story, it's music, it's characters, whatever you want it to be. However, in Blue Archive, it's a little specialized in how it's designed, where it doesn't have a million artists. What's it called? Oh, sorry, something freaked out on my screen and I had to double check. Like FGO, it doesn't have a million artists like Fire Emblem Heroes. It has a few select artists, and it's consistent, and it keeps detail, and it knows what it wants to do, and all these details are put together for the design philosophy of their characters. Yes, you guessed it. The main appeal of Blue Archive is everything you're looking at right here, and I'm not even including some characters that took this game and had it soaring. There's definitely characters here that are not here, that should be here, but I wanted to get a little bit of variety here. These are just some of the designs in Blue Archive. A minimal amount. These are only a few of the students. How many do we put? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 of the 180. And the main character in the middle aside, some of these characters are alts. There's 2 alts in here. 3, actually. And a lot of these characters, hold on, I need to get water, have so much art already and are only getting more. Some are definitely more popular than others. Like, I'm looking at this, you'd see, I'm saying names is going to do nothing to those who are beginners. But some characters here have much less than some other characters. And those characters still have at least hundreds, or at least 100, 200 art pieces. Just goes to show you how popular this game is, how well they captured their design philosophy with each character. You can look at all of these characters, and while they have so many different design points, so many different appeals to their overall character, you can tell they're all from one game. They're all from one game, they're all representing one game, they all belong to this cast. No one is an outcast here. Everybody looks the part. And that's a very, very important thing in games like these. That's another reason why Grand Blue Fantasy took off, because it's very well-made art style, and because it worked hard to make everyone look like they belong to Grand Blue Fantasy. But yeah, you guessed it. The main appeal of Blue Archive is character-driven. 100%. Everything in BA is character-driven. Everything from the main title screen you see, end of the game, stories, to the missions, to all that stuff. It's all character. Everything in here has an appeal, and everything in here, and every character is stupid, for the most part. A lot of the stuff you see here, actually, this is a very good selection for stupid characters, but, the characters are well written to the point where you will like them for more than their design. I've had so many Blue Archive characters where I come in for the design, and I stay for their personality, or I didn't care for them at all because of their personality, or not personality, for their design, and they just knock it out of the park in their character stories that might get uploaded online, their character art that gets shared, or if they show up in a story or an event. Things like that do really, really well in selling the characters. And the voice casting they do, very, very good. Very, very good. I can't tell you enough how excellent the casting is for Blue Archive. Each character has their own seiyuu, and each seiyuu, while some have more of a, oh, it's this seiyuu than others, you could tell that they were designed with that character. They were picked with that character in mind. The character was drawn with the cadence that's carried in those seiyuu voices. Momo Talks legendary innovation and characterization. I agree. Character stories are really well done, and I think Momo Talks, which is the character stories in the game, do it best. You know it's over when they do it. Yeah, they even got Kanahana. They got everybody in there. Sayori Hayaman, they got Sakura Ayaneru, or Ayane. They got, I think Yu Kobayashi is voicing a character now. They got it. They got all kinds of characters running here now, guys. They got all the characters, voice actresses running here, guys. And every single character, even the ones I don't like there's a handful. There's a lot of characters. There's a handful of them that, yeah, maybe I'm not into, but I still appreciate them, and I don't hate them. I think it's very hard to hate a character, truly dislike a character in Blue Archive. Whereas in things like Genshin Impact or Fate Grand Order, there's always a character that somebody hates. There's a character that people hate. Blue Archive, I don't see that as often. There's, I don't really like her, but she's alright. That's the most I see, right? And if you could do that, I think you've done a great job. So, since the characters are the main pool, the main appeal of this, I thought it would be good to illustrate what they are, who they are, the setting. And the best way to do that, so who's who? There's like I said earlier, Blue Archive has their categories where each, what is it? You're in Kibotos, and there's a General Student Council. No one in the GSC is playable, but they are surrounded by all sorts of other schools. These schools are included down here below. You have Abidos, Gehenna, Trinity. I probably pronounced that wrong. I think I pronounced it right. Gehenna, yeah. Trinity, Arius, Millennium, Hyakyako, Shanhaijing, Red Winter, Valkyrie, and SRT. And that's just the only 10 we have so far. There's probably going to be more. If you're a real nerd about this, there's been data mines, there's been people have found beta logs for Blue Archive, beta art, beta logs, beta details. And one of them is that there was other schools that have not appeared yet in this game's 3-year life cycle. One that I can think of off the top of my head is Wild Hunt, which is supposed to be a, like... Well, we don't know. It's supposed to be like a beastly, like, big, nasty school that's full of people who are strong fighters, animal girls, etc., etc. But that's not in the game yet. It could show up. It could show up, but we don't know it yet. As of right now, there is no love. But that's okay, we got a lot of other ones. So, I kind of lined them up in a particular order here as well. We're gonna go through them one by one, and they're gonna be presented in this order. Abidos is these three right here, excluding Abidos and Arius. Arius is kind of like Trinity, but Trinity 2.5, right? Or 1.5. Gehenna, Trinity, and Millennium are the 3 biggest schools in Kibotos, and they are home to many powerful students, many powerful factions and clubs, and they're definitely the biggest in game as well. Every other school here, not quite. Red Winter is supposed to be, but they don't have many name students yet. Shanhaijing and Hyakyako still are expanding slowly, but they have their perks. And I don't think Shanhaijing has a... Oh, no, they do. They do have a leader. She's an NPC still. But everyone else here has some sort of importance to the story. Even Abidos, who are a school that is falling apart, compared to all these, of course. Well, except Arius and SRT. we'll get to that. There's a lot of schools, and people tend to be fans of the schools, or they tend to be fans of the students in the schools, and a lot of stuff like that. And it's important to know that what you have here is a very, very diverse cast, a very diverse setting, a very diverse everything. Even though it's all schools and all academic settings, the way Blue Archive is designed is that, yes, while we're in this sci-fi, what's the word? I didn't write it down. I guess sci-fi fantasy setting where futuristic, there's flying cars, there's robots, there's guns that you shoot but they don't hurt people. We're all grounded in the same reality, and everyone's living for the same thing. No matter how different Shanhaijin is from Gehenna, or no matter how different Trinity is from Red Winter, they all have the same objective, they all have the same goal, they all have the same very homely personalities. And I think that's a very good way to capture your ensemble casts generally. Making them so different, but also so similar. And I think that's the other thing that I gotta give you on. Yeah, so how can we go... If I'm going too fast for anyone, feel free to stop me. But if it's too much, if I'm going a little too fast for you, let me know. Question, feel free to speak up. I will gladly answer questions. I will gladly say whatever it is that needs to be said. But for the most part, let's move on. first school I want to talk about is Abidos. This is the school that you'll see as soon as you start the game. Really. Abidos is home to these 5 students, and that's it. That's it. There's Shiroko, Nonomi, Ayane, Hoshino, and Serika. These are the only 5 students in Abidos known. That's it. That is it. The reason being is because Abidos is kind of falling apart. The school is LARPing as a Love Live school where it's closing down. That is it. Yep, that is it. It's only these 5, and they're the first ones you encounter because the General Student Council assigns you, points at the screen, Sensei, to go deal with their issue. Their issue is, well, they're having money issues. This club, these 5 students make up the club, the Foreclosure Task Force, and their job is to make sure that their school stays up and their school stays alive and everything goes well. Which Weezer album is this? You know what? I kind of passively thought that, Yoshinoya, as this was going, as I was making this, but that's fine, it's fine. This is the Weezer Blue album, featuring Abidos. The thing about Abidos is I'm gonna try to keep this spoiler-free. The thing with them is that despite all their shortcomings, despite how much they have to work for their money, how much they have to work to ensure that their school is treated equally as any other school, they all mean well. They're all smart characters. Everybody on here, even the ones that act dumb for a little bit, like Hoshino and Nonomi, they're all smart. They're all good girls. They all work very hard to do what they do, and they appreciate Sensei for what he is. Why do they have halos? Dispulia, I'm glad you asked that. The reason they have halos is because of a shared, what's it called? So in Kibotos, everybody's got guns, right? There's a lot of ways to get hurt, there's a lot of ways to get in trouble, but the halos is their main life force. As for why they have them exactly, I don't believe it's set, but the halos are treated as important. It's more important than the heart. They could get banged up in several ways, and while that will put them near death, damaging your halo is what gets you closer to death than anything else. And it looks cool, that too. I believe when they were asked why they have halos for the first time, they thought we wanted to give each character their own personal flair besides their character design, and they put a lot of thought and design vision into making these halos unique to each character. Are the colors because of typing or because of aesthetics? Aesthetics. A lot of it's complementary colors. You're gonna see it with future halos that a lot of it's supposed to be matching personality and complementary colors. The halo is the heart. That's the important thing. It's not literally the heart, because they still have hearts. But it feels weird to say mechanically for a human body. But yes, mechanically, the halo functions similarly to the heart. How would a normal human body. But yes, okay, where was I with the Abidos? I remember. The thing with the Abidos faction, or the Abidos school, Abidos? Man, I'm gonna fuck this up all day. Is that even throughout all the hard stuff, all the crazy stuff that happens in every school, Abidos, there we go. They're the most, weirdly enough, down-to-earth one. They're the normal club, the normal school. And it gets weird with them too, but even then, they're the ones you have to protect. That brings us to the next one. You might start to notice something too when we get to talking about some of the words used in this game. But if you know, you know. Some of you guys might also know that what's going on here if you've played a Project Moon game. That's my only hint. This team is evil. These guys are actually... None of them are related to each other, actually. They all represent different clubs at this school. This is Gehenna Academy, home to a lot of students. A lot of them. It's one of the 3 biggest schools, and it makes up for a major story point in the game Blue Archive. Each one you see here is a different club, and the center is the leader, basically, the president of Gehenna. This is Makoto, and she's not in the game yet. Well, she's in JP, but I don't think any of you guys are gonna play JP unless you're Nihongo Jozu, right? Makoto is a very stoic, very arrogant, airheaded, but intimidating leader. She captures what Gehenna is to every other school on Kibotos in her flamboyant personality. Makoto is someone that's looked up to, but also someone that is looked down on by her own group, the Pandemonium Society, which is home to other students that are members of the society club in Gehenna. Makoto has a lot of political power, and she's seen very often in important story events where schools are getting together. While she's not the one true leader, she is the one with the most position of power. The next one that I would say should be looked at as a powering figure in Gehenna is this little creature over here, Hina. Hina is the president of the... What was it called again? The prefect team. There we go. There it is. Hina is short. She's short. She's cold-faced. She is very serious and very, very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. She's very strong. She's looked up to. She gives orders. She has a group of students working along her on prefect team that are just as strong as her, and they still fear her. Hina is a very if I were to talk about her Momo talks without spoiling them, she is very cold-faced to start, but she has a warm personality and heart, and she does truly respect everyone around her. And she puts a lot of care into maintaining her team's safety, as well as Sensei's and herself. The prefect team and the Pandemonium Society, these two right here, or the red girl in the middle, spar a lot. They get in a lot of fights. You're gonna come to know that when they meet each other at all in any story event, there's gonna be violence. Are they gonna be good guys when they all look like they're actually committing war crimes? Well, you don't know that. Maybe these war crimes are good, actually. But what you guys should know is, despite how much are you being paid for this? God, I wish I was being paid for this. I wish I was being paid for this. Next song, please notice me. Hina's God's sleepiest soldier for dealing with movers that live in the turf. That's for real. Free advertisement? Yes. If I can get one download from this. Next song. Look over here. Look at me. You guys might you guys might know next song from things such as Maple Story or Gun Z or whatever they do that's not Blue Archive. I don't know them. I guess I know them from Maple Story. But otherwise, not really. Just one? Yeah, Fabi. All I need is one. I can get one download. One person that knows as much as one person that sees me bearing my heart to the viewers for this game, and they're like, "Yup, this is cool as hell. I'm gonna download it and play it." Mission accomplished. Anyway, the pink girl, or red girl, sorry, not pink, in the middle is Aru. Aru is the leader of the Problem Solver 68. Problem Solver 68 is something you're gonna see if you download Blue Archive today. Well, you can't play right now because it's made. But if you download it today and you were to start the story, Aru is someone you quickly meet. Problem Solver 68 is a dorky little, goofy little, small club in Gehenna who like to commit crimes. I say with the fattest air quotes possible. They like to do bad stuff and do bad thing and get notoriety from it. However, they're not very good at it, if I were to put it nicely. Which is a good and a bad thing, I guess? LARP Squad, yeah. Basically, mostly Aru. I think they're doing their best. They are doing their best. They're doing their best. Problem Solver 68 is like Double D trying to be evil. Yeah, kinda. It's composed of 4 students, and all four of them are a little interesting. But there's one level-headed one in the group because every comedic group meets their Tsukomi, right? The straight-faced one. And Aru is very, very stoic, flamboyant, just like Makoto. They are very, very similar. However, Aru is just a little bit more stupid. Which, depending on who you ask, is a good or bad thing. The important thing to know about Aru is that she also is a very well-meaning girl. Though her goal is to do bad things, her goal is to cause trouble, her heart she has carries a lot of love and care. So it's kind of like the nicest person you know trying to rob a bank. If you're bad at being bad, you're good. Yeah, basically, dude. I think that's a very good way to capture Aru. And speaking of, I have a good segue for this actually. Aru is a girl who wants to be the concept of feared, right? She wants to be one that is a little crazy, but also does it to strike fear into her enemies and opponents. She wants to be the one that's a little unhinged and strong and does a lot of damage when something doesn't go her way. However, who I'm describing is not Aru, it is Haruna. Haruna is the one right here with the gray hair, or silver hair. Haruna is the president of the, I want to say, the cooking club of Gehenna Academy. The cooking club actually gets featured a lot more than you think. Or the gourmet club. The cooking club is a different club in Gehenna. The Gourmet Society. And their mission is to eat. Their mission is eat. And their goal is to ingest food. Which, if you ask me, is a very inspiring commit warfare. Yeah. Basically. Very inspiring goal, very interesting thing to achieve. However, the Gourmet Society is being highlighted specifically because the Gourmet Society is featured a lot more than you think. They are a small, at first a joke club, right? A small joke club home to a few members, I think 4 or 5. And what you'll come to realize is that they get more focus, they get more attention, they get more scenes and things, not just the main story, but in the events too. There's a few events dedicated to the Gourmet Society that, honestly, I didn't think would get noticed, or get that much attention. They never had a collab cafe? I don't think anyone has. Wait, well, Blue Archive has generally. Blue Archive generally has, but not them specifically. They deserve one. What's important to know is that Haruna is a bad bitch. Haruna is a bad bitch. She is insane. She is prim and proper, as you can see by her getup. She is not someone you want to cross. Her inspirations. Her aspirations are to taste the tastiest food and to find new sights in chemical warfare. She has all sorts of things to make food taste better. She looks for the best taste in food. She has a god tongue, which some of you might know as a thing in like Shokugeki Society. The pursuit of gastronomy, exactly. That's exactly her. And while the rest of her club is a little weaker than her, they all kind of like just go along with her. They all have the same goal. They're all goofy little Gehenna students that want to see tasty food and pursue the ultimate taste. And Haruna is known to commit terrorism if you do not please her. And we'll leave that at that. The next character I want to highlight actually is the last one right here, and it's Kasumi. You were right. You were right, Vaughn. There is terrorism in this game, and that all comes from Haruna. Well, most of it. The last character right here on the right, this goofy little thing, is Kasumi. Kasumi is the president of Hot Spring Development Department, which sounds goofy, right? However, you're going to come to realize that a lot of the clubs that aren't some of the main ones in Blue Archive are very, very weird. Very strange clubs. The Hot Springs Department, short because I kind of don't want to waste too much time on the characters, even though they're so crucial. The Hot Springs Department the development department is exactly what it says on paper. They go around, they develop hot springs, and that's it. They see a spot that's good for hot springs and they make it, and that's all they do. It's home to 2 named students, and the other one is Megu, but Kasumi is the one that leads the charge, and I guess she also commits terrorism because she will get her her goonies. She will find a spot, and without asking, a very important note, and she will decide, yep, this is the spot, and that empty little plane you liked maybe playing in as a kid is gone. It's a hot spring now. Congratulations. But I picked these 5 characters because the general vibe of Gehenna is a very mean-spirited, on the surface kind of school. A very evil-ish, stoic, very hard-boiled school on the surface. But when you get to know them, you'll come to realize that they are just a bunch of silly little girls. They're a bunch of silly girls that want to look strong, look intimidating, look powerful on paper, and that's about it. If they can look intimidating, if they can strike fear into your hearts by being these dire, troublesome students, then mission accomplished. If you look further into the schools, you'll find a little more that are less like that, but it's important to note that this is the general vibe. Just blowing up your home because, oops, I make a C-tier hot spring here. Basically, that's basically what's going on here. And then, like, Gehenna also has very, very big beef, right? They have very, very big beef with Trinity. Now, Trinity, if Gehenna are the bad guys, then Trinity are the good guys. But of course, this is design philosophy-wise, right? The Trinity School is home to a lot of characters with wings. There's a lot of angel inspirations here, and there are some that are just, nice students, well-earning students. A lot of them are going to be characters that you'll see are basically just good girls. They look like good girls. And Trinity's a good guy, shows the first 2 who are evil. Azusa's not evil. Also, if you know the game, and you're in here, I will say, be wary of spoilers. Be sure not to spoil. It's important that there may be new people here, and I want them to make sure that they're not getting spoiled. One of these is not like the others. Yeah, it's the cat. You're right, Vaughn. So, without further ado, I will say that I will go into each of these one by one, but it's important to know that Trinity have very, very stoic sites, and they have not stoic. I'm saying that word a lot because of the last slide. Trinity is generally well-meaning, generally well-behaved, and they are on the pursuit of justice. Justice, however, being a concept that could mean anything depending on the beholder, right? So I will start with the center one, Nagisa. Nagisa is the president of the Tea Club, or the Tea Party. And the Tea Party is basically the student council, the higher power of Trinity. The Tea Party is home to a lot of... not home to a lot of... The Tea Party is a society composing of 2 other members, and they are essentially idols of the school. They're ones that are looked up to, and they have a lot of political power, just like Makoto's Pandemonium Society, among others. Nagisa is the prim, proper, tea-drinking, perfect idol superstar, right? That's what you get. Those are the perks of being the president. And the important thing to see here is that Nagisa is passionate. She's very passionate, right? Whether it be tea, other students, her motives. I can't say more without spoiling, but whatever it may be, Nagisa is very determined on getting those across. Besides that, you also have Hifumi. Hifumi is going to be one of the first girls that you meet, actually. Hifumi is a Trinity student who kind of gets thrown into everything without asking for it, right? Hifumi, yeah. She gets thrown into all of these situations, all of these scenarios that she's like, how did I get here? Why did I get here? Help. Now, I will say, Hifumi is very, very, despite that, she's very passionate as well. You're going to see that with a lot of Trinity students. All 5 of them here have a passion and they pursue it. So now, to not spoil, Hifumi is a very driving force to the game, to the characters, and to a lot of plot points. Despite that, she's a very normal girl, right? And the cool thing is, even if she's just this normal girl, she is a normal girl, yeah. She pursues these things. Oh man, I'm trying to avoid words. Long story short, Hifumi shows anyone can do anything. And that's her main point. She's along for the ride, but she doesn't not fit in. And that's the big thing. Azusa as well. Azusa as well is a character that's going to be really hard to explain without spoilers. She's very strong. She's very good at what she does, which is private operations, supervision, stuff like that. And, ooh boy, she is very involved as well. Azusa's passion, just like these two, she has a passion for, I want to say justice, but her justice is different than others. Her passion is doing what's right, not justice. And it's a very important distinction that I can't really say until, it was cats? No, that's Kyoto. Well, Azusa likes plushies. Azusa and Hifumi, they're plushie gods. They love that stuff. They love that stuff. But Azusa, to keep it short, keep it to the point, and not spoil, she is a character that goes through a lot, but is willing to go through so much to drive towards what she desires. Azusa and Hifumi are very important. They are very complementary characters. Kazusa. Kazusa is one on the right here. She is a cat girl. She is the leader of the After School Sweets Club. commonly called ass, because that's what it's short for. And to get away from these three, who are very important, you have Kazusa, who likes eating candy and pastries and cake, and that's it. That's all she likes. She has a bit of a past, right? That's where it gets interesting. She has a bit of a past, and her past causes her to get a little bit of unwanted attention. Yeah, everything Dookie's saying is right, by the way. Character stories you get as soon as you roll the characters, and you raise your affection with them, which is by giving them gifts, tapping on them in the cafe, which is your little my room place that's in so many gacha these days, or giving them lessons. Now, that's really all there is about Kazusa. She's very no-sell, serious spit character who is surrounded by doofuses. Last but not least, Tsurugi is the leader of the Justice Task Force, and the Justice Task Force is basically Trinity's personal police force, to put it simply. Tsurugi is a little crazy. She's a little passionate, a little too passionate about striving for justice, and that causes her to be have a lot of bloodlust, have a lot of drive to be violent. Her justice is different. If you look at Azusa and you look at Tsurugi, there's a different justice being pursued here. It's a very red and blue justice, right? Where Tsurugi sees something and she's like, yeah, I'm going to annihilate it for the sake of justice. She can get a little quieter like a puppy. She can be pained. However, you're not going to see that much. You are not going to see that much. Generally, she is up to no good, causing trouble. Next up, we have Arius, which is only these 4 students, really. Why is that? Is because she's different. Yeah, she's different. Why is that? Is because Arius is a split faction of Trinity, which I'll leave there for now. They are similar to Abidos in that there's not many of them for reasons, and the reasons I can't say. But you have 4 characters here. These are the only 4 students in Arius. They are they're kind of cool looking, aren't they? They disagreed on calling it dinner versus supper. Yeah, true. You have Saori, you have Misaki, you have Shiori, and you have Atsuko. Saori is the leader of this group, but Atsuko is the princess of this group, in terms you might get. I can't say too much about these guys because they're a very heavy part of later in Blue Archive's story. However, it's important to know about them because you can roll them before that. And just so you know, if you did get them and you're not to their story yet, their character stories won't spoil anything major. So don't worry about that. They're all very, very good characters, and they should be cherished. They deserve all the love they can get because of how difficult it was for them to get to where they are, and that's all I'll say. Oh, yeah. Whew. We've gotten to a certain point in this, haven't we? We're not even halfway yet, but are you guys getting informed? Are you guys learning? Is learning about Blue Archive? Forcing myself to take water breaks. I also like the song. You having fun? Yeah, good. I don't want to take too long on these because there's stuff that I explain. Gotta stay hydrated. Yeah, we're learning. Whew. Okay. Next up, Millennium. Now, Millennium is not too tied to the other two schools. Gehenna and Trinity, they hate each other. They spar all the time. And they're two of the biggest schools. Millennium is also one of the bigger schools. However, Millennium is only they only really care about science. They can only care about science, tech, and weapons. They are nosy goobers who goob out. Exactly. They are a very intelligent group. They are composed of they're the STEM students, right? They're the STEM majors of Blue Archive. Are they? Yeah, they are. They're supposed to be. They're all focused on their science, their math, their tech. I have two dumbasses on the screen. Well, we'll get to that. The first one, she may not be the president of Millennium. The current president is MIA, which is a spoiler, but it's not a true spoiler if I don't tell you who it is. Yuka is one of the members of Sebinar, and Sebinar is like the Tea Party, like the Pandemonium Society, the group that sees over Millennium as a whole. Yuka is very, very strict, very, very straight-laced. She is always going to be making sure you are on top of it, and the rest of the Millennium is on top of it. A control freak, but a control freak that's well-meaning, right? She wants to ensure that her school's in order, and she wants to ensure that all of her students are doing something that doesn't harm the reputation of the school that Millennium is. And she's gonna be the first character you see, I believe, because you get her memorial lobby for free. Next up to the right, we have Chihiro, who is a member of Veritas. Veritas is... they're the hackers, right? They're the group that specialize in cybersecurity, to put it literally. You recognize that, Gremlin? Yeah, that's Momoe. We'll get to her. Chihiro is the leader of Veritas. She is, well, de facto leader, I guess. She's the one who knows the most. She's all about cybersecurity. She's all about networking. She's all about all that fancy stuff that comes with maintaining and providing a good internet experience, or hacking and stealing information. She's also really good at that. Next. Wait, did I say anything about her personality? Chihiro is cool. Cool, calm, and collected. And that's a big part of her character, in that there aren't too many Blue Archive girls who are calm and collected. Like she is. Next up we have Momoe. You may know her as the Keitaro emote that is Keitar11 Momoe. That is the Momoe. That is the very one. Momoe is... ooh, she is not the leader of anything. Game Development Department is a club in Millennium that develops and researches games. Just like all VTubers do. She is the one who... she's one of the two twins who are, I guess, the base of the club. Momoe is the eccentric, the loud, the troublemaking. She's the symbol of shitposting in Blue Archive, would be the nicest way to put it. Gremlin Gamer, OMG me, yeah. That's literally her. Her and Yuka, funny I put them together, are often sparring. Momoe is chaotic in nature, she's devious, she's no good. She's a lot of people's kids. To the left of her, we have Asada, who is a member of CNC, which means cleaning and cleaning. Why is it called CNC? Why use the same word twice? Well, cleaning and cleaning. Cleaning has two definitions here. Cleaning, as in maids, they clean after messes in houses and stuff, and cleaning, as in cleaning up crime scenes, cleaning up bodies, cleaning up whatever it may be. CNC division is a highly powered division in Millennium that is home to, I think it's 5 now. Yeah, 5 mates who are very, very powerful, very, very strong. Um, though they may not be brightest, they are tasked to do a lot of the dirty work for Millennium. Which is funny. You have all these schools that have giant armies or like big mobs of students who are meant to fight, and then you have Millennium, who has CNC, who do a lot of good work on their own. You guys might have seen Asuna before. She's definitely the character with most fan art. I can give you 2 reasons why to guess why. But her alternate form was a bunny outfit, and that event kind of surged Blue Archive's popularity to the general audience in Japan and in the West because of the 2 girls that headlined it. But a lot of people don't really know who Asuna really is. They know her for her body, but not for who she is. And I think to give you a brief introspective into her character, Asuna is the ditzy, airheaded, silly girl who just wants to have a good time. She's silly, she's goofy, and she wants to be loved. Really, that's it. Whether it's by her classmates or by sensei, that's all Asuna is. That's all Asuna is. She just wants to be loved. She wants to have fun. She wants to be silly, and I think that's a very, very cute character personality to have for someone who's supposed to be looking like a 22-year-old bombshell toxic lady. She's just a silly girl. And last but not least, we have the Tensai Bishoujo Super Haka Himari. Himari is she goes head to head with the president of Millennium quite often. She is the leader of, I cannot pronounce it, but their group is tasked. Well, group, it's literally 2 people tasked with exploring oddities and finding the unknown mysteries and horrors to the creations, inventions, and beasts that may appear in Kibotos. Not just Millennium, but all of Kibotos. And Himari is definitely very, very important. It's good to know that Himari is there, and she is. It's look. Okay, let me loop back and do so over again because I got distracted. I got distracted by Momoe. Momoe was looking at me, and I wanted to punch her in the face because we fight a lot. No, but Himari is someone who carries a lot of importance. Her and her teammate Amy are not featured too much, but when they're featured, they carry a lot of lore with them. It's kind of like when Sherlock Holmes appears in FGO, or when Calcit appears in Arknights. You know something is happening, you know something is going to happen. Shit is going down, generally, when they're involved. And Himari is a character that, despite this serious, important role that she carries, she she's a goofy character too. Himari is very smug, very full of herself, very prideful, and she sees herself as the cutest, smartest, best hacker in the entire school. And she will let you know that. She carries that title everywhere she goes. Himari is a very strong girl in the game mechanically, but she's not lying. She's up there. She's up there. I actually took the longest to explain so far. She's trying to be nice. I mean, I like Himari. Himari is very, very funny. She's a very funny character. Hello, Animac. How are you? She's a very funny character. She's silly. She's smart. She's pretty. She's the epitome of the kind of jerky character, and that's perfect to have, really. Himari's voice actress also does a phenomenal job for her. She captures that kind of character well. And that's Millennium. They're goofy goobers who are up to no good, up to a bunch of science, technical, and general Reddit stuff, whatever. Next up is these next schools are gonna get farther and farther from each other in relation, but that's all right. We have Hyakkyaku. So Hyakkyaku is the obvious Japanese-inspired club. In case you couldn't tell, right? In case you couldn't tell. Yeah, the Japanese school. So to put this into perspective, right? Hyakkyaku is Japanese-inspired. They are full of all sorts of Japanese cultural elements, whether it's literally ninjas, literally tea parties, literally whatever's. You're gonna see a lot of very, very Asian culture, Japanese culture inspired things here. So I guess I can go over these one by one. Hyakkyaku again has no bearing to the other schools. They are very flower decoration like their Pokemon. Yeah, that's true. They are very standalone, and that they don't really interact with the other ones too often. But they still talk to them because there's one event where you see a Hyakkyaku club cross with a Gehenna club, right? So the first one to talk about is Yukari, who is not in the end. You're not going to see her. You're not going to see her for quite some time. She's important, and well, she's important to a point, right? She's rich. She's inheriting a lot of things. She's seen as this is spoiling. This is spoiling even EN players because it's only JP. Summing it up, she's a princess character. She's important to the school, and she's goofy. She's the character she's the Desuwa character. She's powerful in more ways than just her money, and she's an important entity to Hyakkyaku, even if she's not the person in charge of Hyakkyaku. That person is not featured into it. So we'll learn more about her later, chat. We'll learn more about her later. To her right, we have Izuna, the leader of the Ninjutsubu Ninja Club, for those who don't know Japanese. She's the leader of her trio and master the state on. Oh, it'll be need to walk the walk. Lacy schools are pleased they might read game region, not derogatory. Yeah, fair. Izuna is very, very, very passionate about being a ninja. She practices her ninja skills every day. She's always jumping around doing ninja stuff. She is the ninjas to end all ninjas. You're gonna come to realize in your stories with her that she kind of latches on to most people. She's a good girl who means well, but boy, does she need a little bit of help. There's a lot to work through. I love Delusional Chun, who's gotta be my favorite characters. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Izuna is kind of Chunibyu, but she can do ninjutsu. She can actually do a lot of that stuff. She's just a ninja in training, but I guess she does it better than her two teammates. Oh my goodness. To the left of Yukari, we have Shizuku. Shizuku is the leader of the, I want to say, the hospitality club? Actually, no. Oh, Shizuko. And she is the president of the Festival Management Committee. Duh. Yeah, I was right, but I didn't get the name right, and it bothered me. She's kind of like an idol in the literal sense, where everybody looks up to her, everyone's like, wow, Shizuko! And they collect Shizuko merch. And she's a superstar waitress, a superstar festival manager, party manager. You're going to see her quite a few times, I think. Wherever there's a party, she's going to be there. She's organizing things for the scene. She's getting it all together. Shizuko is high-pitched, hyper, and kind of two-faced, but it's not too much of. It's not night and day, right? It's dusk and evening. If that makes sense to you. And to sum her character up, she's a bit controlling, but she's very clumsy. Over to the right, we have Wakamo, who is not aligned with any club. She is actually one of the 13 prisoners, which is 13 of the biggest, most wanted criminals in Kibotos, except we only know like 3 of them. Wakamo is aligned with Yakiako, even though she's not going to school there, because I guess that's where she was originally. You're gonna see her in the very beginning of the game. She's after you for multiple reasons, and she's strong, causes a lot of trouble, causes a lot of damage, causes a lot of destruction, and regularly escapes jail because she has her reasons to escape, right? She's voiced by the voice actress that voices Tamamo, which, well, Chef's Kiss, probably the best thing to best casting to ever happen. She's a little insane, just a little, and she is a limited character. So if you're trying to get her, now would be a good time to start. She will be on that limited banner in 2 weeks. Start playing now. Anyways, the last one I want to talk about is actually not somebody who, well, they're not the club president of their club, but they're club president in name. This last character I want to talk about is Mori, and she is the de facto club president of the oh my goodness, what is it? Oh, the Etiquette Training Club. The Etiquette Training Club, where they practice their good etiquette, good manners, they practice their ladylike stuff. The president of the club is a dumb girl who sleeps a lot, whereas Momori is a girl who actually carries the Yamato Nadeshiko personality. Momori is the epitome of what her club believes is a perfect woman. Was that a pause I heard about? You know what I'm talking about. They have a collection of criminals. Yeah, they have a handful of criminals that are always pursued. And Yasuyaki, you can see they definitely capture the spirit of Japan, the Nipponese style, well, and they intend to probably continue that for the rest of the time. Next up we have Shanghai Jing. Shanghai Jing is the school that epitomizes Chinese culture. In case you couldn't tell. You have a rat, you have a chinchilla, a couple of chinchillas, and then you have two Chinese girls. Very, very obviously Chinese girls. The first one we have up in the middle is Shun. Shun is a member of the Plum Blossom Garden, which is basically a secondary, or like kind of like a secondary school within the school. She's a teacher for a lot of the younger students in the Plum Blossom Garden. One of them formerly was the girl to her right, Kokona. Kokona is her sister and was a former student and is now a teacher of the Plum Blossom Garden. These two are kind of involved in most Shanghai Jing things. You'll see from them a lot because they were the first two from the school. And it's important to note that they are very, very strong. Very, very strong in the game. They do a lot of things that make things easier. They are very core for 2 specific things in the game. And I wouldn't say re-roll for them, but if you get them, you might have a good time in some games. To their left is Saya, a member of the Alchemy Study Club, and she's kind of like if your crazy professor who threw chemicals together and started fires in class was personified as a rat girl. She's very goofy. She's causing all kinds of trouble. She's brewing stuff that leads to wacky situations. 300 girlfriends. So uwu but rat girl? Yeah, basically uwu to uwu but a rat girl. She's uwu if he was a rat girl. She's involved. You might have saw the art earlier. That was very, 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 very good. One of her alts. It's not in game, but it looks nice. And she's strong, or not strong. She's not strong. She's not strong. She's smart. She causes problems, but ultimately she means well. She's only looking out for the best, and she's trying to create all alchemist streams, which is the potion of life, fountain of youth. Now, these next two characters are kind of related, but not really. So I'm going to go into them one by one, but get to where they connect in some way. So the one on the right is Mina. She is a member of the Shanghai no, not Shanghai Zhuanlong office. And the Zhuanlong office is like Pandemonium Society, like the Tea Party, etc., etc. So there's one long office. It's called Genryumon in EN, so I should probably use that one, not the one that I wrote down. I was wondering why did I write this down when it's called Genryumon in EN. But they're the ones in charge of Shanhaijing. They are the ones that are going around keeping things in order, kind of like seminar. She's not the leader of Shanhaijing. That is her own leader, who's at NPC right now, Saki. But she's got that triad scary girl look, right? However, I don't have her, so I don't know her true personality. I wish I had her. But basically, though, she's the leader of the mooks, the goons, the rascals, the ratty dudes. It's important to know that Mina she's got her own vision of what is strong and powerful, and it may not be the same as others. I wouldn't say she's putting on a face, but her thoughts and brain patterns scramble. Now, why did I say they were going to connect? She was going to connect the other one? Well, kind of because she was. On the left, we have Rumi, who is the leader of Black Tortoise Promenade, which is a restaurant chain in Shanhaijing. She cooks a lot. She's a good chef. Rumi is kind of like Mina if Mina actually acted the way she thinks she acts. Rumi is very motherly, she's very caring, and she can be kind of intimidating at moments. Basically, you don't fuck around with food when you're with Rumi, right? Now, Shanhaijing, to sum it up, not much to say. These are kind of basically the Shanhaijing characters we have. I'm hoping they expand on it more later, but just like Hyakuyaku, Shanhaijing is going to be primarily focusing Chinese culture, and probably never straying away from that. Next up we have Red Winter. Red Winter is Russia Jokes, the school. In case you couldn't tell, they have their supreme leader Chirino, who is loud, boisterous, silly, gets overruled a lot, kind of has her viewpoints misaligned, what's important and what's not. But hey, don't disrespect the great leader. To her left, we have the leader of the disciplinary department in her school, former leader of the school itself for 1 week. Marina. Marina is the one that gets one that's in charge of the military for Red Winter, and she also gets tasked to clean toilets if she eats Chirino's pudding, or she knocks over Chirino's statue, or she sneezes on Chirino's painting, or she tweaks it slightly. Kind of getting the butt of the joke here. Hello, Elena. Hello. Welcome. But yeah, it's important to know that Marina, or she breathes near Chirino. Yeah, basically. It's important to know that Marina is a very... Ooh, she's a very... try to be nice here. She could be smarter. She lets her ambitions and drives get in the way when they're not really to be taken too seriously, and she kind of gets mind warped by Cherino, which happens. Anyway, to the right we have Shigure. Shigure is she was a former special operative for Red Winter, but she is facing a suspension right now. The reason for her suspension? Take a look at what she has in her hand right now. That is substance that she should not be drinking, that she tends to mix in often with drinks that are supposed to supply to special operatives. She was suspended for mixing that and ingesting that, and that's kind of how she tends to be. She's airheaded. She doesn't really care to follow rules. She's not very strict about that. She has no eyes here. Those are she's got stockings on, so you can't really see her skin right there. Those cloudy prints right here. That's supposed to be her thighs. But yeah, Shigure is despite being part of a disciplinary committee, is not very disciplined, and she's probably the closest thing Blue Archive has to a bad girl in her school. Anyway, these next two, well, okay, I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The one on the right is a character that I was about to say is not in EN, but I think she is now. That's Minori. She's the leader of the Red Winter Labor Party. Basically, she exists to bring down the tyrannical rule of Chirino. She is her direct enemy. However, she does not really have the force to compete directly with her. She's a advocate for construction. She's an advocate for civil engineering. She's an advocate for all that stuff. She's kind of like, oh wow, I'm gonna say this without bringing real life political comparisons into this. It needs to be a bag. I thought it was shorts. No, it's not. Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you didn't see where. Oh, no, that's a bag, not shorts. And then last but not least, we have to our left. What's your name again? Oh, Meru. Meru is a Fujoshi. That's basically it. She's Fujoshi. She's part of the Knowledge Liberation Front. She's in the library committee, and she writes a lot of smut. Big, yeah. So Red Winter is, like the last two, Russia, the school. And before they had a very, very small cast. Now they've expanded well, and they've gotten to the point where, wow, there's a lot of them now. I actually could not fit all of them like I intended to. There's more than the 4 last time. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Valkyrie is a police academy, and Valkyrie is the overall police academy. They are the overall police force in all of Kibotos. Unlike Trinity's Justice Task Force, unlike Seminar's CNC, not Seminar, Millennium CNC, unlike Red Winter's military group, Valkyrie are the cops. They're the fuzz. They're the blue. They're the 12. Alright? Now, there's only 3 students here. There could be more later, but I don't think there's any more they haven't shown. You have the 2 trainees and the captain. In the middle, we start with Kana. She is the captain of the Valkyrie police force. She is very tired. No-nonsense girl who is strong, intimidating, inspiring. She's got a whole posse of people who look up to her. Let me tell you that much. Kana is seen as one of the stronger students. She's someone that really has no rivals, enemies, whatever. But even if you were a villain that was causing trouble, you would fear Kana. Wakamo does fear Kana, for example. Now we have the 2 trainees. One on the left is Kirino. She's a direct foil to the one on the right, but we'll get there soon. Kirino is inspired. She's a fledgling police officer who does her best to try her best to reach her best, right? Even if she fucks up things like shoots at a target but ends up hitting the window 2 feet away from it. Or if it's like trying to handcuff a criminal and she handcuffs herself to a fence. That's the kind of goofy shit that Kirino is on. And her direct foil to the right, Fubuki, is lazy, eats donuts, skips work, and she just doesn't want to be here. She wants to do cop stuff in the least cop way possible. And it's funny, their interactions, they go around a lot. The donut stereotype funny. Yeah, for real. They have a lot of interactions, they go together a lot. These three are generally going to be all seen together, and I think they're a very well-written group. Now, the first time they're introduced, they're seen as the bad guys. Why is that? Well, that's when we get to our last and final school, with air quotes. SRT. SRT is a special task force meant to develop and create special operatives that work as sub-factions in Valkyrie Police Academy. However, due to budget cuts, the SRT Academy no longer functions. And despite that, the students involved, the four we have here, the Rabbit Task Force, are now living nowhere because they have no provided housing, they have no school, they're just out there still living their dreams to be the Rabbit team. From left to right, we have Moe, Miyako, Saki, and Miyu. They all have their specializations, they all have their specific features that help them do special tasks, and help them bring justice, to put it simply. Moe is a weapons pervert, Miyako is the special leader, Saki is the explosive specialist, and Miyu is the sniper operative. They are a special task force put together to pursue and break up any resemblance. And that's fam. That's the end of that. Oh, but wait. There's a plot. That's right. I was talking about this, wasn't I? Where could Keitaro have possibly grabbed all these characters' informations, all these seemingly loose storylines, without there being a story? And what you see right here is just a small portion of the CGs used in the story. Now, I won't go into the nitty-gritty details. I want to give you a small taste of the story of Blue Archive without telling you the story of Blue Archive. Okay? So if you really want to capture these, and you really want to see what's going on in these CGs, I'm going to have to ask you to go play Blue Archive. Now, there's a lot of story, right? There's a lot of story. How much reading is there? A lot. There is a lot more than you think. Now, it's not a sheer volume like other gacha games, where each individual part is 40 minutes long, but each individual part has a lot happening in it, regardless of how things are long. And that's good. Writing is best done if you do it succinctly and still capture everything you want to capture. As someone who hates reading gacha, it really isn't a lot of subsections. Exactly. There's all sorts of subsections as listed right here. There's 4 volumes, each one focusing on a different group of students, a different school or schools, or a club or clubs. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And within each volume is 2 chapters. And then within each chapter is 20 to 26 parts. There's a lot of parts. So that's at least minimum 40 parts per volume. And that's a lot, guys. A lot is happening in those. When you finally read all 4 of them, you'll feel very accomplished. Because the stories are something that you want to read. Yeah, read them in release order, not in the order the game gives you. Do not read them in the order the game just gives you. It's a little out of order. It is a tiny bit out of order with how it is. I believe the order is Abydos 1, Abydos 2, or 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I forgot 4, 1. Well, whatever. I was gonna get that all. I was gonna get that all out of whack without it written down. Can we get the list? I should get the list, but I didn't write it down from an idiot. If you actually start playing, I will give you the list. But it's chapter 1, 1, chapter 1, 2. Off the top of my head, ready? Volume 2, 1, Volume 3, 1, Volume 3, 2, Volume 3, 3, Volume 2, 2. No, sorry, 4, 1, Volume 3, 4, Volume 2, 2. Chapter F, Volume F, sorry, and then Volume 14. That's that right now. There is a final volume. It's called Volume F, but even though it's called Final Volume or Volume Final, don't worry about it. Just do everything the game tells you to do before doing it, and then you can start the last Rapids chapter. But even then, there's also a mini story, which is between 2 different clubs and schools. Besides that mini story, there's several club stories. Each club story has 4 parts to it. They're not that long. They range from like 5 to 10 minutes. But I haven't even read all of them. But there's a lot, guys. There's a lot of club stories. And then whenever an event comes, there'll be an event story chapter with 8 to 12 chapters. Typically not long either. Sometimes there'll be a combat associated with the chapter, but other times there won't. So much reading. It is a lot of reading, Pavi, but the good thing is you can take these in bits and pieces. You don't have to burn yourself out and read everything there is. You can read a little bit of something and then come back to it later. Yeah. Doogie's right. Each reading is about 10 minutes on average. You're never really going to spend more than that. He actually timed it. Wow, look at that. Now, final thing is, is that there's 5 to 6 character stories per each character, including alts. So if a character released, let's say her name is Carl releases, she gets 5 character stories. Now, if Carl has 5 character stories and Carl gets a birthday alternate, Birthday Carl also has 5 character stories. Now, let's go 2 years in the future. Blue Archive event happens. Our anniversary. They announced they're giving characters that were already released a unique equipment for buffing them. Carl gets a unique equipment. Now she gets a 6th character story that ties in with the equipment she gets. So that is a lot of that's a lot of stories. A lot of reading. But you know what I said? Captures it all well. Hey Taro. Yes, Ryan. How are you doing? That's my name. Don't wear it out. Hey Sensei, why does Hina not have a unique item that Summer Hina does? Because they needed to buff one of them. I'm not the development team. Don't ask me about the development and patches. Oh wait, Ryusei knows. Alright, go ahead, Ryusei. Educate him. Also, I think regular Hina is stronger than Summer Hina. Even though Summer Hina is really good in events. Specific events. Sorry, that's not the case. Oh, you're fine. Oh, you didn't have a question? Oh, okay. You're doing spring cleaning? That's fine. Feel free to settle down, take a seat in class, and enjoy the show. Hina is the strongest. Well, her new version is for sure. Hoshino like double word. Exactly. Hoshino Summer and Hina Dress are competing directly against each other. Now, this next part, what is the gameplay of Blue Archive? To put it simply, it is an auto battler with skill selection. But what I'm about to show you, credit to Shuxy for the video, is the highest form of Blue Archive gameplay. So this is the team setup. He's picking his team specifically to be ready for this raid he's going to do. This raid is the highest difficulty for the raid. Kaiten EX. It's a two-phase raid, where the first phase is this one right here, and the second one is when they fuse together to become a stronger unit. A different phase, a different moveset entirely. Now, I'm gonna use this as an excuse to drink water and rest my voice for like 10 seconds, but take a look here, you're gonna see a lot of fine-tuning, a lot of specific stops and pauses, a lot of specific skills made. The audio is too loud over me? Alright, let me lower it again. A lot of specific picks done to ensure that he's getting the highest score possible. He's fishing for crits, we call it crit fishing or crit molding if you will, and he is doing all his skills and buffs specifically to optimize his damage. Now, you can watch for a little bit, notice some things, and then if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Why did you blow up the car? The car was causing problems, that's why. But yeah. Anything here confuses you, anything you have asked about, feel free to ask. I'm going to take 15-20 to rest my voice a little bit. There we go. Now we can see every pixel clearly. See, this fight started with a bar health of 200. He's now gotten to the 50 point. He's running out of time. Luckily, there's 2 timers because holy moly, this is a lot of shooting. The way I enjoy my shootouts in the little highway with no coverage battling. Exactly. That's how real warriors do it. He even lost a character right here. He is running out of time. Boom. It says defeat, but he got what he wanted. Look at that damage. That is 32 million done by Aru. Aru is a big key component to this mission. Now, in some raids, you're gonna need more than one team. Now, Kaiten has a lot of properties that make his fight irritating, but it's very, very fun. It's very fun, and the upsetting part comes from the randomness of the crits. Now, this is an entirely different team. It's composed specifically for fighting Kaiten EX, or FX. Now, what he did there was pretty important because Kaiten FX causes an effect that stuns you and leaves you in a prone state. Very, very irritating. Very, very irritating. It's important he shields for that, otherwise the whole run is finished. Even then, it still stuns. It still has a chance to stun. It could be crazy, but luckily he did it in a moment where it didn't cause more harm to his own character. Big, big, big. The important thing as well is keeping the uptime on the ring for Hoshino. Watching your life, keeping your shields maintained, optimizing your damage placements. You can see it's very hectic. It's very difficult to maintain. And it's very possible that he might not make the end of this, but it seems like he could. It seems like he could. Oh, no, time. If there were no timer, he definitely might have made it to the embassy. Yep, big damage, big damage. 17 million by, Muski. Yeah, gameplay is real-time SMT with all the debuff uptime balancing. It kinda is. So this team functions similarly, but it's lower power. It's going to be achieving the same things that the last team did for Kaiden FX, but it's not meant to last long. That's why it's facing the 44 life bar version of Kaiden, not the 200 life bar version. He lacks shields, he lacks true healing, he lacks all that. He only has attack buffing, crit buffing, and pure damage output. All he wants to do is get this fight done as quickly as possible. That's not gonna help. When you lose a member of your party, your active bar, your cost bar goes up slower. So now he's in a state where he's playing very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. It's very possible he doesn't get those last 22 bars with his characters, right? As they are. Yeah, it's not looking good. We're on to Team 4. And that's just how it be, guys. That's just how it be. This game is really hard at the highest difficulty. Still got like 27 or 2 million damage off of and just like the last team, all this team exists to do is get a lot of damage in as fast as possible. Not necessarily survivability, it's just die very fast. Die. No, he cannot use the same units again. He has to use different ones. Or different units. That's what it counts for a whole raid. And there it is. That is one torment run, and that can go crazy. So once you run through all four units, you're shit out of luck. Basically, you're stuck at 4. That's why you gotta optimize your teams. You saw 2 teams plow through 70% of that fight by themselves. All about optimization, all about skill uptime, all about maintaining that order. Oh, next slide. So what you saw was a raid, a total assault. Hey Basil, how you doing? That is one of the things featured. However, there's a lot of other things featured in Blue Archive that are different event types. You have the standard event mission, which is, there's going to be one going on right now. But those event stories can run concurrently with these event types, right? They use a current, sorry for being late to class. It's okay. There won't be a test on this yet. The reason they're split from each other is because these event types are a little different. They don't use the same energy costs. The test is from the highest level of 8. The test is adding me on your archive by the end of the class. If you add me, you pass. So, as I was saying, there's the raids with the total assaults, the grand assaults, and drills. What you saw was a total assault, but it can also be a grand assault, right? On the right here, these two are just they're here to have fun. But on the right, we have an example of just a little bit of the raids in the game. We have Bina, Gauze, Chitin, which you saw the fight of, Ches, Rodzilla, and Gregorius. Fuck this guy, by the way. These are, fuck this guy too. Honestly, fuck this guy too, but only sometimes. These ones on the left are okay. You'll have raids running whenever they can be running. Whenever it's not a raid, a total assault, sorry. People call them raids. It's total assault in name, but it's a raid. Whenever you see them not running, it's usually because we have drills, which are goofy little skill checking, squad checking mini missions, which give you a type of currency as well. Or if it's not a total assault, it'll be a grand assault. Grand assault is currently the highest form of raid right now. It's not like total assault where you get 3 tickets to run it a day and then you get chances to raise your score. It is you get 1 ticket per color type, per weapon type, armor type, and you get 1 per day for a week. You can use it whenever, you can save till the end, or you can use them as you get them. But that's the thing. Earlier I said you get 1 per weapon type, right? You fight a boss, but you fight the boss in each different weapon type. So Bina is a yellow type. He is a heavy armor defense type. You want to fight him with your yellow weapon characters. You want to do a lot of damage with them. However, Bina has now 3 forms in Grand Assault form. He has special armor, heavy armor, and blast armor, explosive armor, sorry. Which means you have to build a team for these bosses for each color type. And that gets kind of crazy to maintain, especially when some colors are not specifically spec'd to deal with boss mechanics, while others are. The bosses were designed with a certain color in mind, and you're kind of shit out of luck if you don't have a very specific one for the other two. There's a lot of like arguing over whether Maid Alice is very good or not, and etc. etc. Now, if you're a new player going in, I wouldn't be too worried about ranking high on the raids. Just do what you can and keep your currency. You don't have to be an ultra sweat lord and sweat for platinum ranking for your platinum trophy for your room. It's not something you have, right? It's not something you have to do. It's something that you use to wave around, show your E-Peen. I'm strong. But if you're a new player, don't worry about it. Do what you can done. Maybe watch someone else do it to learn the matchup, and get ready for next time. Because eventually, your end state is going to be beating these guys on Insane or Torment, or beating their Grand Assaults at the highest possible level. And it's a long-term goal, not meant to gatekeep you immediately. And the prizes for the raids are still very, very good. They're still very, very good, even if you don't get up. So don't worry too much about that. Have your goals in order and work towards it. I think we're almost done. We're almost done, actually. So right here we have the music. The music, as I said, is probably some of the highest quality things in the game, and there's a lot of high quality things in the game. Down here we have our little fishy boy, but we'll get to him. He was the sole pioneer for the game when it launched until we got these two involved. I have their Twitters attached. You guys want to follow them? They're very, very talented people. They retweet good stuff. It's a Japanese person's Twitter feed. You'll know what to expect. Food, random anime girls, and whatever their hobby is. The cool thing is as well that the 3 artists that composed for Blue Archive also did 2 stage performances at the third anniversary festival, and my goodness, guys, that was fire. That was really really good, and I had a very fun time listening and watching the rave, even if it was an otaku rave, you know, it was crazy. But it was very very good, very 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 good, very 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 good. Now we have Noor, Karut, and Mitsukiyo, who are the 3 pioneers of the game, 3 lone last guys. Oh, last. I feel like there's no one else, and it's over. They're the 3 guys that still compose all the music, and they're probably the 3 guys that compose the music till the end. Now, I singled out. You can notice I didn't turn the BGM back on. I singled out some certain tracks from each of them that I think is very good from each of them and shows their range, and we're gonna do listen alongs, like those cool music you do. Interesting pick on the left. Yeah, dude, it's their home screen music. The Arisa song. I'll let you listen and figure it out. Boy! You guys can't see it, but I'm jamming! I do look like that! That was Usagi Flap, Flop, Flap, Flop, Flop, Flap, Flap. I misspelled it. Don't look at that typo. Don't look at that typo. And next we're gonna listen along to Midnight Trip. This one is used in a lot of the memorial lobbies for the most part. If you play the game and you have a character that uses this for their lobby, you'll know this track. What's the Tekken song? I don't know what you mean. See, it's a totally different vibe, but you can tell it's the same guy. Oh, the techno song. Oh yeah, I can pull that up later. I can pull that up later. That was Nora's work. you'll come to realize that though it's 3 different artists, they all capture it kind of under the similar vibe. That's called good direction, in my opinion. Next up we have no Karut. Karut, very very high energy. I don't think he has a low energy song, so you're gonna see a lot of bumping. Get your dance emojis ready, basically, in this one. Karut has good music. First one is After School Dessert, which is attributed to Reisa right there. It captures her personality perfectly. If you've ever seen a Blue Archive meme, you're gonna recognize this one from meme videos as well. It's used a lot in those ones. My God. You say Solaris, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Woo! Thank you. That bit right there, these bits right here, really good. Reminds me of Crash Bandicoot. Slap bass space, yeah, for real. That up pitch, ooh. With the little piano running. Oh, that's so good. The music gets higher, the lower the IQ. Yeah. Now, this next one, I can't say anything about it. Very, very good song, though. Bloodstained Faith. The CG in itself is a bit of you'll see. If you play, you'll know. Peak, yeah. This one uses a lot of instruments that Karut likes to use a lot of. When it plays in game, it's even better, honestly. So short, but so good. It captures everything so well. It does what it wants to do in that short minute it has. Very, very good. The samples are well done. Everything about that is very good. Karut does a very, very good job. Very high energy composer. And finally, the head honcho. I'm gonna play 2 songs you absolutely have to. There's so many I could choose for Mitsukiyo, but I think I chose the 2 that have a lot of notoriety and a lot of fame in the community, in the meme scene. Everything about it is just big. These are 2 of his biggest songs. Ba-bum. This one's a classic. I don't care what you say. I heard this one is catchy. Yeah. It gets used in a lot of things too that aren't necessarily Blue Archive as well, I've noticed. It's a very, very good song. It captures tomfoolery. Oh, that part. Oh. The D&B in this song is really, really good too. Like, really, really underratedly good. Peak! I'm like dancing along, guys. If only I had a live 2D, honestly. So good, so good. I forgot about the second half too. Like, holy fucking shit, dude. Woo! Very, very, very good. Very, very good. The second one's a little less known comparatively, but it's still used in a lot of Blue Archive core meme videos, highlight videos, etc., etc. It plays in a very pivotal scene in the story of the game as well. No, not you, not you. You can see a lot of the similar signatures in this one as the other one too. Very different songs, but a lot of similar beats and design elements. If there's something he knows how to do, it's perfect transitions. Now, I think the Brittle synergy of almost was part of why the community popped off is absolutely fellas. Absolutely. I do think it helped play a part. The crazy thing, though, chat, is that Mitsukiyo, as big as he is today, produced an OST to a VN and individual Vocaloid track backings before he got involved in Blue Archive. He was a very not a completely small time, but compared to how he is today, he was a smaller freelance musician. And if they hadn't nabbed him, I don't know how Blue Archive would be today, because he's created so many iconic tracks. He definitely made it big. Yeah, everything since getting signed by them has been Blue Archive. And you know what? He puts his freaking whole body in it. And that's where we're probably gonna wrap this up. Searching his name on YouTube, a lot of things pop up. Yeah, exactly. Now, I wanted to put more. This is like the slide where I wish I could put more. I wish I could put more time into it. But the song title of this one. Oh, okay. This is GGF. I think GGF is North. And this is Alert. This is Mitsukiyo, I think. Anyway, the Blue Archive community involves a lot of very interesting people, very nice people, very smart people, very creative, very talented people. Like any fandom, it's literally any other fandom out there. I'm not gonna call it one of a kind. Though I treat it as such. It's home to a lot of people that, like any community, there's bad eggs. But I feel the Blue Archive community is united in one thing, and that's sharing their love of the game. And I don't think I've really been involved in a community that loves, cares, and idolizes what it does more than the Blue Archive one. And I say this being in the VTuber community, right? I say this being in the VTuber community, but people involved with BA or fans of it or content creation scenes are on the levels of things like Toho, in my opinion. We have fan games, we have doujinshi, we have art, we have mods for games. There's all kinds of music being made, fan-made music, fan-made artwork pieces, fan-made mods, fan-made 3D models. A lot of shitpost shorts, a lot of skits are uploaded to YouTube and Nico Nico. Hell, Billy too, dude. The reach this game has is kind of insane. And to think it went from such a humble little game that started off from a couple of guys at Nexon to what it is today is legitimately insane. Like, I don't know where else you'll find something like this. And I think if you get involved with the VA community and you reach out and make friends in the VA community, you go to events where you'll find more of the VA community, I think you're in for a good time. I think you're in for a really, really good time, and I think you actually went out and looked into all of the possible things you do with this stuff, with this IP that's blessed onto us. You'll find a lot. Hell, the Mario 64 mod, which is pictured here, was made by one guy who thought, yeah, I want to put these 4 characters into Mario 64. Kind of weirdly revitalized the modding scene for the co-op branch of Mario 64, and it's very apparent. If you go to the Game Banana page, you're going to find a bunch of old mods, some newer mods. Well, you'll find the Blue Archive mod on the Game Banana page has triple, quadruple, quintuple amounts of clicks, downloads, and everything. That's a pretty big fucking deal. And even on Steam, you can look for Blue Archive mods for a lot of things. You're going to find mostly for Left 4 Dead. But there's Blue Archive card games. There's probably Blue Archive fucking tabletop sim props. Blue Archive is all over the place. And the way it's taking things by storm is kind of insane. There's Blue Archive Lethal Company mods. There's Blue Archive fan games. There's Blue Archive mod that are just adjust the UI. There's Blue Archive mods for Terraria. There's Blue Archive mods for literally everything you can think of that has a modding scene, whether it's the NA fans, the JP fans, or hell, the Chinese fans. They're breaking into the scene too. There's Blue Archive Minecraft skins. There's Blue Archive Minecraft mods. You could put Hoshino from Blue Archive in GTA 5. If you ever wanted to play as her, you could do it. There are 2 DA mods because the second guy didn't know how the first guy did lighting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true about Blue Pokemon. And I believe Payday 3 is getting mods for Blue Archive. There's Skyrim mods for Blue Archive. It's really insane, honestly. Being a part of this community is not what I thought it'd be. I was a very big Blue Archive fan when it was just JP, and I was very excited for the EN release. But the EN release, where we are today, is nothing like I can imagine. Absolutely nothing like I can imagine. And I'm hoping that my passion for this game, I'm hoping that my love for the game that I was able to put on display for you guys, I truly hope that it rubbed off on some of you. I truly hope that you guys, somebody, whether you're a lurker or an active chatter, I hope one of you guys picked the game, and I hope you tell me, hey, I picked up the game and I want to add you, and I'll gladly add you if you're in the NA region. That's the important part. You gotta be in the NA region. I can't add you if you're in the Asia or EU one. Sorry. Please be NA, or else I can't add you. Drop the friend code? I will. If you ask me. Whether it be Discord or a DM on Twitter, I will give you my friend code. I don't want to throw it out there. For everybody to see. Whew, and that's it. That's Blue Archive. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, by the way, best you start playing now, because as soon as maintenance over, you get 100 free rolls. That's 10 rolls for over 10 days. 10 free 10 rolls over 10 days, just for you, for free. And you can even start saving up for the Blue Fest, which is double rates with a limited character who's very, very good. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Whoa, yeah, Elena, whoa. This makes you think, I want to play Blue Archive. That's a lot of rolls, right? That's a lot of rolls. But yeah. I hope the lecture wasn't too intrusive. There's no that's all. There's no that's all. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's all there is. You posted a shill and gotcha then. There you go, Doogie. That's how you do it. I'm hoping that this wasn't too much. I'm hoping that this didn't put you guys to sleep. All I wanted to do was bring a lot of people into the game that I really, really like. Thank you for the lecture, Sensei. You're welcome. You're welcome. I will add anyone that starts playing. I will help you. What does adding someone do, you ask? It lets you get access to 2 other students for content where you can share students, which is basically anything these days. You guys can use my super cracked students for anything you're having trouble with. Yeah, any questions? Ask them now. Otherwise, I think that's about a wrap. that's about a wrap. We'll probably go raid somebody. Who's streaming right now? There's a lot of people streaming right now. I can't believe all these people are streaming right now, and you guys get to watch me. I respect that. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any questions. Where is... There's my studio. Raid. Who's live right now? Actually, is anybody streaming Blue Archive? No, they probably aren't because it's on maintenance. If anyone's streaming it, they're streaming the JP game, which we don't have access to. Let's see. You know what? We haven't rated. You guys want to watch Onimusha Warlords or another just chatting stream? Answer now. Will there be a second lecture on how to play the game? Probably not. There probably won't be a second lecture. I'll probably stream my game itself, not give a lecture. I think this one did enough. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. Onimusha Warlords? Alright, let's do that. Let's go raid. Renux. Let's go raid Renux. Where's my raid button? There it is. Alright, Famarino. Alright, Famarino, that's it for me. Next stream is Wednesday. We'll be playing Lethal Company with the boys. Yeah. Also, I did put a big event thingy on my Twitter. And I hope you guys show up for that. It's a big thing on Saturday. I'm going to post my schedule for it probably Wednesday before the Lethal collab. Look forward to it, and I hope to see you guys there. I hope your Saturday is open for fun times. Thank you for streaming. Thank you guys for coming. And yeah, add me on Blue Archive. I'll be talking about it on my Discord. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. Smooches. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.